We are not makers of history. We are made by history. Love is the greatest force in the universe. It is the heartbeat of the moral cosmos. He who loves is a participant in the being of God. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. If you can't fly then run, if you can't run then walk, if you can't walk then crawl, but whatever you do you have to keep moving forward. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. One day we will learn that the heart can never be totally right when the head is totally wrong. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. We will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. Whatever affects one directly, affects all indirectly. We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always right to do right. There can be no deep disappointment where there is not deep love. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly, affects all indirectly. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. This is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. The beauty of genuine brotherhood and peace is more precious than diamonds or silver or gold. Violence is immoral because it thrives on hatred rather than love. Violence ends up defeating itself. It creates bitterness in the survivors and brutality in the destroyers. Every man lives in 2 realms, the internal and the external. The internal is that realm of spiritual ends expressed in art, literature, morals, and religion. The external is that complex of devices, techniques, mechanisms, and instrumentalities by means of which we live. We will not build a peaceful world by following a negative path. It is not enough to say, we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. Not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but on the positive affirmation of peace. I am still convinced that nonviolence is both the most practically sound and morally excellent way to grapple with the age-old problem of racial injustice. If we are to have peace on earth, our loyalties must become ecumenical rather than sectional. Our loyalties must transcend our race, our tribe, our class, and our nation, and this means we must develop a world perspective. Ultimately, a genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. Hate is too great a burden to bear. I have decided to love. I know that love is ultimately the only answer to mankind's problems. Occasionally in life one develops a conviction so precious and meaningful that he will stand on it till the end. We must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future. There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? We shall overcome because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. You will make a better person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but the positive affirmation of peace. I am convinced that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other, and they don't know each other because they don't communicate with each other, and they don't communicate with each other because they are separated from each other. Faith is taking the first step even when you can't see the whole staircase. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. What is wrong in the world today is that the nations of the world are engaged in a bitter, colossal contest for supremacy. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability but comes through continuous struggle, and so we must straighten our backs and work for our freedom. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for that which is right. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for justice. A man dies when he refuses to take a stand for that which is true. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be a sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. The time is always right to do what is right. You know, a lot of people don't love themselves, and they go through life with deep and haunting emotional conflicts. So the length of life means that you must love yourself. And you know what loving yourself also means. It means that you have got to accept yourself. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a permanent attitude. An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. The non-violent resistor not only refuses to shoot his opponent, but he also refuses to hate him. History will have to record that the greatest tragedy of this period of social transition was not the strident clamor of the bad people, but the appalling silence of the good people. Science investigates, religion interprets. Science gives man knowledge, which is power. Religion gives man wisdom, which is control. Science deals mainly with facts, religion deals mainly with values. The two are not rivals. Hatred paralyzes life, love releases it. Hatred confuses life, love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life, love illuminates it.